Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 5:30. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to our monthly meeting, and if everyone would please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, would everyone please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You may be seated. At this time, we are down to approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any additions or changes to the agenda tonight? If not, I need a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Johar.
Second.
A second by Ms. Yantz. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we're down, as I always say, to our favorite part, which is our recognitions.
It has nothing to do with me, but it is a favorite part. Good evening again, board members and all you guests. This evening's recognition is going to a young man who is a sophomore at Muhlenberg County High School and has had a remarkable year of accomplishments. So if you recall, over the summer, Jude Gardner earned his Eagle Scout. And that was no easy feat, task to do. He chose as his project, which qualified him for this title, to construct a new obstacle course for the JROTC program at the high school. He designed, organized, and led the construction, including telling his mom and dad exactly what to do for the addition, so it will be used for years to come. A dedication of the course took place in September, followed by a reception at the high school for Jude's achievement. Well, last week at the Greater Muhlenberg Chamber, the awards dinner, Jude received the Youth Citizen of the Year Award. And I want to share just a few things that the nomination said about him. Jude's Eagle Scout project came from his heart. He saw his friends, JROTC members, struggling on the limited training course that they had. He decided that his community project would be to expand and improve the current training course at Muhlenberg County High School. He completed grant applications, talked with friends and family, and raised enough money to not only build new training stations, but to enhance some already in place. Jude chose to dedicate the new training site to the veterans of Muhlenberg County. He has always been eager to thank a vet. If you ask Jude, he will tell you what he loves most is helping and encouraging the younger scouts in his troop to push forward, have grit, be strong, be dedicated, and above all, serve with an open heart and mind in order to always be looking for a way to make a difference. I want to say congratulations to Jude Gardner. This is a very high honoring award that he received, and I thought it was very fitting for us to recognize him tonight for not only that award, but for enhancing our high school, helping the JROTC program. I don't know if you've driven around back where the obstacle course is, but they added a lot of valuable things to that course. So Jude is the proud son of Brad and Emily Gardner of Central City, and he's a Freeman boy. At this time, if Miss Orr would come up, we have a certificate that I'd like to present to you, Jude, and get your picture. Got it. Thank you.
Good job, Jude.
Congratulations, Jude. Thank you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Jude, if you and your family would like to join me out front, I'll take a few more pictures.
All right, at this time, we are down now to our treasurer's report.
Sharon Raker, board member. Tonight I bring you the
start with the revenues. This month, we received $3,678,802 for a total of cash receipts of $37,032,551. SEEK is unchanged. The federal is up $129,000. State is up $111,000. Taxes are down $74,000. Other revenue is up $213,000. Food service is down $55,000, and daycare is up $2,000. The monthly receipts are up $626,000 from the last month and up $281,000 from the same period last year. On to the expenditure. In November, accounts payable was $1,502,634, and payroll was $3,244,659. The accounts payable is down $201,000 when compared to the same period last year, and payroll is up $81,000 versus November of '24. The significant bills in November were CNC contracting for $229,580, Gordon Food Service for $173,785, Mescola, which is construction, $153,493, Heritage Petroleum, $104,702, Grizzly Industrial, $88,598, and Tremco, which was the roofing project for the metal roofs at the high school and middle schools, $72,701. Further breakdown of the accounts payable, other fixed expenses was approximately $1 million. Variable expenses of $368,000 and utilities expenses of $94,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
December 4th.
All right. I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Motion.
A motion by Mr. Johar. Second by Ms. Barr. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we're down now to payment of bills and salaries.
December board bills, tonight we bring $618,501.66. Of that, utilities expenses is $49,937. Other fixed and mixed expenses is $371,309. Variable expenses of $197,000, $174. The significant bills this month were Muhlenberg County Sheriff, $170,743, and that was for the collection of the taxes. Tremco, which is again the metal roofing, is $69,012, and Ross Tarrant, which are the architects, $53,884.
Any questions on payment of bills and salaries? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Porter.
Second.
Second by Ms. Johns. All in favor of paying bills and salaries, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hear none. And we'll move down now to public participation. Right, so I'm going to turn this over to Honey Patel. She's going to speak to us about a fundraiser.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Honey Patel and I'm a senior at Muhlenberg County High School. And I'm here to represent the HOSA Club, which I'm the president for, and JROTC. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America, and JROTC stands for Junior Officer Reserve Training Corps. Yes. So HOSA's and JROTC's mission is just to invent leaders. And so HOSA and JROTC would like to meet up and host a 5K run and a community blood drive, which is through the American Red Cross for Muhlenberg County. This fits perfectly with the Muhlenberg County High Schools and all the schools' blueprint for success. Especially the focus is on one voice, one purpose, and one community. And its goals for community engagement, student-centered learning, and developing engaged citizens and collaborators. To really bring everyone together, we would like to bring all the surrounding counties like Hopkins County, McLean County, Ohio County, Butler County, and Logan County. This will help us even feel bigger. As we all know, Muhlenberg County is like a small county. And it will make us feel connected and more aligned with the blueprint's emphasis on strengthening partnerships between schools and the wider community. To spread the word, we plan to use social media, flyers, school websites, morning announcements, local businesses, and even radio stations to get as many people involved in as possible. The blueprint highlights strong community connections, and this event is a great way to support that. The 5K will happen with different age variations. Let's just say from 5 to 7-year-olds, and then preteens, and then teens, something like that. And the top 3 runners in each division will win a prize. The first place overall runner will get a custom plaque that's made by the engineering department at the high school, which supports the blueprint for, all the student-centered learning and experiences in the real world and on work. We also want to design even t-shirts for all runners to build excitement and school spirit. After the 5K, we'll host a blood drive, which will be on Tuesday, run by HOSA and JROTC. We would like to get permission if we are able to use the Sue and Brown Badgett Center, because we would like more community involvement and student participation, which that does mean that we will have to open up the blood drive at a later time because of how blood works. This gives students experience in leadership, teamwork, communication, and service, all skills listed in the profiler of a learner. To pull everything off together, we plan to apply for a grant to help cover t-shirts, water stations, race equipment, promotional materials, signage, and supplies for the blood drive. This supports the Blueprint's goal of building strong, meaningful community partnerships. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Just complete that fundraiser request and turn it in, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, so now we will move on to the administrative report and superintendent report. I'll turn this over to Ms. Orr.
All right, we'll start with Miss Lily Darr. She's going to share with us an opportunity she's been able to participate in this year.
Office manager.
I don't have anything wrote. I was gonna write something, but it's been a crazy week. So yes, like Ms. Orr said, I was selected at the beginning of this year to be on the Commissioner's Student Advisory Council. This is a group that meets in Frankfort with the Commissioner. We meet bi-monthly on Zoom, and then I'll meet one time this semester. We met in Frankfort, and then next semester I'll meet in Frankfort one time. We go up there. And it's a very good time. We talk about a lot of different things. This past meeting, we talked about attendance, which no one really likes to talk about. We talked about attendance. We talked about, oh shoot, what else did we talk about? We talked about vaping this time, tobacco use, what our schools do. Really, the one thing I want to share with everyone is a big thank you to everyone. Principals, staff at schools, board members, superintendents. Thank you for making Muhlenberg County a great place to learn. You don't realize how blessed you are to be at Muhlenberg County in our school system until you go and hear what other school systems are like and what they lack that we are blessed with, or what they just don't even have at all, haven't even thought of. One thing that really gets brought up a lot is our profile of a learner and our blueprint, and then also the defensive learning. And that's a great thing. I haven't done my defensive learning yet, so I go up there and I talk a lot about it to everyone, but then they're like, have you done it? I'm like, no, but it's something everyone has to do, and I do preach about it, and I think it's good. So yes, but mainly just a big thank you. I meet, my next meeting is in February, I'm pretty sure.
You can ask your mom.
And it will be on Zoom. Yeah, I know, I'm looking at her like thinking she's gonna be like, February, but she's not being like that, so okay. about it there. It's kind of like we're in a big horseshoe shape. It's a bunch of different kids. The closest one to me is from Davis County. There's a girl from Davis County. And but if there's anything anyone ever wants me to talk about, I can bring it up there. We can talk about it. We can discuss. They discuss funding. They discuss, like we discuss metal detectors. We discuss suicide. What our school does good for mental health and suicide. That's another thing. Like we're blessed to have counselors. A lot of schools have one counselor for their whole school. Muhlenberg County has 4 counselors just for the high school. Like that's an amazing thing that we're blessed to have, and I'm very appreciative of Muhlenberg County, and I like Muhlenberg County, so it's my spill. But I hope everyone, thank you for selecting me. Miss Orr found out about it and sent it to Miss Ball. Well, it was Miss Carver, Mr. Carver at the time. Sent it to her, sent it to him. Good Lord! She sent it to Mr. Carver, and then Mr. Carver, and then we all got together and sent the application to me. I do think that it's for sophomores to get on to their sophomore year and then work their way up through their senior year, so they're able to talk more. So I'm going to talk about that with the commissioner and his secretary and see if we need to be thinking of a freshman to nominate for it for next year and get to apply. But it's definitely something that I think our county should keep doing over and over again, especially since we've implemented a lot of new ideas and a lot of new things the past few years. So there's my support.
So what's everyone across the state, their main focus that they brought up that you can kind of pull out?
Everybody's talked, so we have speakers. So the guy, there's different, I'm sure you probably know, but the Department of Education, I didn't know. There's a bunch of different people that work in there. So there's the commissioner, and then there's people that are over the CTE wings, there's people that are over for English department, math department, attendance department, things like that. And so for attendance, there was 2 ladies that got up and spoke and gave a whole presentation, showed a map of how attendance numbers were before COVID, and then during COVID, and then now after COVID. And Muhlenberg County is still not doing very good, but we can make it good. If we're not doing bad. And that was another thing, they just kind of go around and ask the input, why do you think your school is not doing good? What do you think your school could do better? And we kind of share ideas of oh, well, my school does this. My school does if you have a perfect attendance for 100 days, they give you this, or we have a party, pizza party, or we go to the pool, or, something like that, incentives. We talk about a lot of that, because I think that helps with kids. Incentives are a big deal. So, things like that. And then we talked about, suicide. A lot of schools have kids that have a lot of mental health problems, so they'll create a council within the school of students that go and help other students. So that was something I brought back. I have a notebook at home with all my different ideas, and at the end I plan to email them to all you all, but it's been crazy. But anyways, get together a council of students, you all select. It's kind of an interview process, and if you're a well-rounded student and can help somebody, they will go to Bowling Green, a training class, and learn how to deal with someone who's experiencing these feelings and how to help. Because studies, and they say that if it's someone my age wanting to harm themselves, if I talk to them, I can probably relate to them better and help them better than someone else. So that was another big thing they talked about. They talked about metal detectors, with all the vaping and stuff, the tobacco use, how to stop that, and just a lot of things like that. But we all, it's just a big round table discussion kind of, and we all they'll call on you, raise your hand, it's kind of like school. They call on you, and then you just say what you would like.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you all for letting me.
And you can get the answers and give them to Mr. Watkins. That way he can pay for all the incentives to get people.
Yeah, we'll get there.
He's willing, I can tell. He's willing.
Right now we're in
such a hope. That's
okay, so
awesome.
for when it was COVID, Eastern Kentucky is really bad attendance. We have nothing on them. We're great. They're in that really, really dark blue. Then it gets the outer blue, we're in that. But then you can be in a really, really light blue. And that's
Let me know
where
how we
they
can get there.
I will.
I do have
something that I'd like for you to talk about.
Okay.
Has homeschooling ever come up?
No, we really, with attendance, no, they did talk about like the chronic absenteeism where it's like the 90% or like, and that counts as your excused and unexcused. They talked about that, but no, not any homeschooling. But you could email me like what you want me to ask, what you want me to say. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Is there any more questions?
No.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lily. All right, so we have our next group of students. We had 4 students from our district who were able to participate in a partnership with GREC and Columbia University. So Amara Stroud is the teacher who kind of helped get that going. We have 3 of those students are with us tonight. Kate Doss, Skylar Ray, and Jessica Holland. I knew Jessica, didn't know the last name. They're going to come and kind of share their experience with us. Y'all come on.
If you know me well, you should not be surprised that this is pink. I know, shockingly not. Hi, my name is Amara Stroud, and I am a member of the English department at the high school. I also serve as a beta sponsor, but most recently I've taken on the role as being an Educators Rising sponsor. So essentially it's grow your own. So we take high school students that are interested in the career field of becoming educators, working with children, and we give them the tools that they need to go to college to pursue a degree in education, or I know several have mentioned wanting to become SLP. So this was brought to me by Ms. Ball, and Columbia University has the Carnegie Institute, and what they're trying to do is find students that want to better their schools. And so what's been really, really cool about this is that all of the students that are involved are going to be future teachers. So not only do they see it from a student's perspective, but they also see it from a future teacher's perspective, which has been really cool as they've developed prototypes. So I will let them kind of introduce themselves and tell you a little bit more, but we have a very lovely pink presentation for you all. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Kate Doss.
I'm Jessica Hall, and I'm a senior.
And I'm Skylar Ray. Okay, we're here talking about the Future Institute of Schools.
You can click on there.
This is your The task. Imagine what education will look like in 20 years. That's some of the things that we talked about. Things like how technology will be different and kids will be so used to being on computers, and how we can deal with technology, safety, and physical space.
We talked a lot about how we would prepare for these changes and like what we could do for the future of the schools and stuff. We created lots of prototypes and we highlighted tons of issues in like our county and stuff.
One, like the implementing of the changes was like making sure we weren't too virtual and stuff, was just making the ideas of the hands-on activities too. In day 1, we defined deliberative democracy, which is where everyone gets a say and everyone builds their own program in a way. And we created basic pitches using like non-real situations that weren't necessarily possible, but gave us a broader idea. And we discussed some bright spots and areas of improvement.
On day 2, we had lots of what if questions scattered all over the wall, and it was like, what if instead of quizzes we had escape rooms and the students worked together on that, or what if instead of tests we did a presentation of what we learned about. We talked a lot about AI and how that affects schools. We did lots of different scenarios in what areas of education unified and divided our groups. We created our own visions, and we began building prototypes for our presentations that we did on paper.
This is my
and Jessica's school, our mission statement at True Blue Innovation School, you can read it right there. Like, that's everything that we would have, like what we believe and like what's in our school and things that we would be changing the world with. And our motto is to better the best you. Day 3, we finalized prototypes and we created our presentations. I made a prototype that I think in our school that we should have like a suggestion box that would come here and the board would talk about it. And I was thinking like a student, or I could look through them and make sure there's no like, because I know kids will like put something silly in there. So I was thinking I could look through them and bring them to the board meeting and we could discuss them. And I would like sit and listen if like I was just thinking that could be an idea. And Ms. Ball brought up that we could do it on the lockers, and I thought that was a really good idea. So that's something we did.
And we actually met 3 times virtually. Thankfully, Ms. Stroud allowed us to do that in her classroom and gave us her time. And we discussed like the technology, and we looked at like ideas. Like we looked at like a cruise school where you like studied abroad. And then we looked at like all AI school in Texas, and we discussed how we felt about those ideas.
Yeah, we also looked at like a self-learning school where there's no teachers and they just have like all the materials to learn on their own and like worksheets. I don't know what I think about that one, but it was definitely interesting to learn about all of these with the people from New York that came to talk to us about that. My biggest takeaway from all of this is our ideas can really be used in real world life, like in our schools. And I feel like right now I'm really trying to make them come to life, like the suggestion box. Like Ms. Ball and Ms. Orr were really helping me talk about that.
My biggest takeaway was seeing all the different counties' ideas and getting to meet like tons of new people. Like we worked with Metcalf, Logan, and Davis County. Russellville. We got to see their ideas and how just a little idea in your head could easily come to life if you like really tried.
And my biggest takeaway back to, I believe, Honey's comment was that we have a lot of things in this district that other districts don't have. And so we're truly blessed.
And from a teacher's perspective, like I got to jump in with them and like sit at the table and go through ideas. And there'd be times where they would be like, well, what do you think we should do? And well, this isn't my idea. This is my prototype. It's yours. And so being able to hear them kind of flesh out ideas and say, this is what we do in our school. What do you do in your school? And we truly are blessed. Like there are so many opportunities that our students have that many others don't. And so to hear them talk about how blessed we are, but also too to see them think through these problems that as teachers, as administrators, we have to kind of deal with every day, and to hear their perspective on it was really cool because there were things that we agreed upon that I would have never thought that they would have seen our way, like cell phones in the classroom. We know that from a teacher's perspective, that's really distracting. And even they, whenever we were talking about the AI, they were like, man, we don't want an all AI school. Like this would be awful if we didn't have to think for ourselves. And it was very nice to hear that. So it was really, really cool to be able to hear them really dive in and invest their time and want to do better and want to see things come to fruition.
I would also like to thank Ms. Orr and Ms. Ball for coming because, like, y'all don't understand, like, we really felt like that was really important and the things that we were doing were really mattering. And thank you, Amara Stroud, for taking
And also thank you to Stacy. We can't forget her.
Yes, and Ms. Rice. Any questions? Thank you.
Good job.
Okay. You get to follow that. Mr. Browning, the longest.
I'm pulling a Grayson here, but I promise I won't take as long as he did through his Facebook. I'm just going to highlight some of the things that are happening at Longest throughout the holidays, kind of what a week looks like at elementary school before you go on Christmas break. I do, first of all, before I get started, I want to thank Ms. Bard for coming to read to our kindergarten students.
My pleasure.
And I got to take her around the school a little bit and look at some of the new additions and things that are going on there. She actually got to go to a 6-7 party.
I did.
67th day of school. We tried, Alex actually liked it because we had like 97% attendance that day. So, but our specials teacher did a great job. They, instead of a 100-day of school celebration, they had a club 6-7, and we had all day long. Thank Miss Orr for coming last week and spending time with our staff, getting to talk with them, and just appreciate you guys stopping by Longest. This is a really neat thing that we did. This is the second year that we've done this. So 5th grade social studies, when they finished their unit on holidays celebrated in the U.S., different traditions, we have partnered with the high school. So effective collaboration. Our students created placemats with poems and different things for English for our Thanksgiving dinner. And then we plugged in math because they had to measure ingredients and do all kinds of different things. And Miss Medford brought her culinary class to work with our kids, and our entire gym was set up, and 5th grade shared a Thanksgiving dinner that they prepared with the high school culinary class. That's the second collaboration we've done with the high school. We also did kindergarten with our engineering department. So they went and saw the engineering stuff at the high school. They came back and met with our kindergartners and brought some things that they wanted made from the engineering department. So collaboration there. Let me see here. Get back up here. Yeah, they all dressed like me one day. I had no idea. Let's see. All right, we had participated in the parade. Our academic team participated in our parade. I thought that was a great idea to get all of our schools involved in that. Thanks to Ms. Sharp for taking our kids there. There's some pictures from the 6-7 club. We hope they got it all out of their system that day. Big tradition we have at Longest, those are all handmade ornaments from our students. So our students made those ornaments, and we always decorate our tree with student ornaments. Santa Claus came, and it was a big hit. So that was really neat. A really, really authentic looking Santa Claus, by the way. So that was a big deal for us. He came and met all the buses, and then went through the school, and the kids were fired up the rest of the day. So, this was another community partnership out of the blue. Owensboro Health Long-Term Care called us, knew we had a chorus, and asked if we could come sing to the residents. So Mr. Watkins was able to take us up there in the Suburban and spend some time with long-term care and sing with them. It was a really good experience. We did the Logan Aluminum field trip with our unit, and they got to go to Logan Aluminum, Century Santa, and all kinds of different activities with our unit students, and that was a big day for them. This is really neat. If you ever get a chance, you want to come by, this is, Grandma got run over by a reindeer in our STEAM class. So our STEAM lab is really, really cool. If you get a chance, come by. Miss Haley does a good job. So the students had to pick their angle of their line here. They had to devise a way to get a balloon down the track to try to run over to Grandma. So Grandma got run over by a reindeer. They're doing a lot of fun things in the STEM lab.
Grandmas love you, son.
No grandma's hurt. Is that on the faces?
So you save yourself.
Not hurting. This is Santa's Workshop. We brought that back after several years. Our free and reduced lunch population is right around 70%. And we got to talking, Michelle Carver had the idea to bring it back. We wanted to give our kids an opportunity to purchase stuff for their families. It was a big success. We ran that this week. The Grinch came. That was also another visitor during this week. Big day there. Grinch went around handing out candy canes. Wasn't a mean Grinch. First and second grade Nome for the holidays. So they did their play, and there was not a seat left in the auditorium in the lower level at night. It was full. So we were really pleased with the turnout there from our families. And just another thing, kind of go back on, I want to make sure I have this number right. Like I said, we're free and reduced lunch population is pretty high at Longest, and we had 109 Christmas angels this year for our school. Normally, Ensign Bigford and Hopkins County Salvation Army picks up a big chunk of those to help us out. They did not do that this year, and we fulfilled all of them. So we were able to fill them all. And for between Thanksgiving and Christmas, for our families in need, we have given out 72 food baskets. So we're taking care of our kids and their families. But it's been a wild week, but it's been a lot of fun. Continues tomorrow with the orchestra coming to sing carols in the morning. And then Polar Express is coming by Longest. The ladies took some liberties while I was out last year and turned our floor buffing machine into the Polar Express. We actually have a train that goes up and down the hallways handing out golden tickets. And I'm bringing back the Tom Hanks outfit from the movie. I'll be dressed up as the conductor tomorrow. So we're going to finish out with a bang before we send it off to the holiday. So that's kind of a week leading up to Christmas break at an elementary school.
That's awesome. Good job.
Good stuff.
That's it, right?
Unless you have anything else?
No, Alex.
Okay, all right. And we'll move down now to our attendance and enrollment report.
Chairman Rager, board members, month 4 was November 6th through December the 5th. The attendance percentage for the month is 92.49%, and our enrollment was actually up by one student, 4,110. Our elementary leader for the month was Bremen Elementary at 93%, and the middle school for the upper division was at 93%. So, of course, that number went down a little bit as far as our percentage from last month, and you can kind of look, our elementaries kind of took a little bit of a hit, which, the sixth season has kind of got to us a little bit. This week, Monday started out not very good, but we've kind of gone up each day, so glad to see that. If you all remember a couple years ago, this time we had to take a couple days off due to sickness, so glad we've gotten through December without having to do that. And that is the attendance and enrollment report.
Thank you. All right, now we'll move down to our board action items. And item A is to approve our 26-27 school calendar.
I was going to sit down last time, everybody. If y'all remember correctly.
I remember.
I'm not going to go over line to line like I did last month since we've already reviewed. So basically, I'm just looking for approval tonight, and I will read the rationale. So KRS 158.07 requires each district, local board of education, to approve annually the school district calendar. The proposed calendar meets all regulations and guidelines required by KRS 158.070. So unless you all have any questions, be glad to answer if you've thought about anything since last month. If not, I recommend the Muhlenberg County Board of Education to approve the 26-27 calendar as proposed.
Need a motion to approve? Motion by Mr. Johar, second by Ms. Bard. All in favor of approving the 26-27 school calendar as is, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. Thank you. Item B is to approve our January board meeting date. Typically, did you want me to just, we usually do the third Thursday
Which
at
that's what
5:30,
it
so
is.
that's what this is, January 15th. So are there any other ideas of different days that
That's fine.
or keep the same? Can always plan for that. All right, so I'll make a motion to approve January 15th as our January board meeting date, and that we'll keep the same time at 5:30. Second by Mr. Porter. All in favor of approving the January board meeting date, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And down to item C, which is to approve update to board policy 01.1.
So this is the policy that would bring in the addition of the non-voting student member to the Board of Education. And so you have the language of that policy there, and this will be the first reading. We'll have the second reading in January.
I'm going to make a motion to approve. Second by Ms. Bard. All in favor of approving the update to board policy 01.1, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And item D is to consider local planning committee.
These are the members. KDE gives specifications on the number of individuals selected from different stakeholder groups in our community, in our district. So you will have the listing of those committee members. KDE has approved those, and then you all just approve those as well.
Questions? Need a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Bard, second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of considering the local planning committee members, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. We're down now to the board consent agenda items, and this includes the approval of the minutes of the prior board meeting, review of board policy 08C02323 for E-rate requirements, consideration of field trip requests, and consideration of facilities usage. Does anybody have any questions regarding any of these items? If not, I'll need a motion to approve the board consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Yantz, second by Mr. Johar. All in favor of approving the board consent agenda items, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none. And we are down to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Porter, second by Ms. Yantz. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? I hear none, and we are adjourned. Thank you.